Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome back to the Wanderers of Weird podcast.
Whatever this is.
Welcome back to whatever this is.
To the shit show.
Yeah. This is episode 6.
I can't believe it.
I know. We're on a roll.
We were just talking about it. Guys, we've made it to, as of right now when we're recording this, so it will hopefully, be a little bit more than that when you guys are hearing this, but we have made it to almost 160 downloads, guys, total. That is insane to me.
Insane in the membrane.
We appreciate you guys as our listeners so fucking much.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we'd still do this even if we weren't getting any listens, but because we enjoy doing this.
Right.
We're here to have a good time, and we're hoping that you guys are having a good time with us.
So, I said at the end of the last episode that I would start this episode with a couple of reviews from Apple Podcasts. I'm sure if we ever get to a point where there are a lot of reviews, I probably won't be able to be like, well, let me just sit and read these for a few minutes.
We might just pick one.
Yeah, but I maybe start making this a habit every once in a while.
Maybe dedicate episodes to the people that we read the review from.
Right.
I feel like another podcast does that, but I can't think of who it is.
So, should I say usernames?
So, just to clear the air on that one of them is my child.
Nobody paid her to make this review.
No,
though.
I swear. Honest to God, she put it up there and I read the first one, so I made her edit it. So you guys are getting a better version of what she says. But no, just know that this first one she's going to read is from a 13-year-old child. So there's that.
Okay. 5 out of 5. Do recommend. These ladies are so funny and I love the topics they talk about. I have been looking for a podcast like this. Great work, ladies.
I just want to also but also say that I told her she was allowed to listen. She just has to skip episode 2. So if any of y'all are wondering that why I'm letting my child listen to Victorian era sex toys, she has not.
Well, that she's told you. I bet she did.
We're going to pretend that she has not.
Maddie, I'm on to you.
Hey, Brittany's got you.
So the second one says, I love this genre. Can't wait to hear what these ladies bring. And we have 5 stars, 3 ratings of 5 stars. So thank you guys.
Thank you guys. We really do enjoy hearing that you guys are liking what we're doing, and we really hope you keep letting us know.
Yeah. So if you haven't already, give us a rating on either Spotify or leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. I wish Spotify let you leave reviews, but I don't think
they just do like how many stars.
Yeah, you can just give it a rating. But either way, we appreciate it.
We do appreciate that. It's not that we're getting paid for it, because we're not.
We're
not as of right now, guys. We're not getting paid, but it's letting us know that you're liking what we're doing, so we know what to keep telling you guys.
Right. And if you want to get in more depth of what you like or what you don't like, just send us an email at wanderersofweird@gmail.com.
We like the constructive criticism, guys.
Right. So this week, we are going to dive in a little bit. There's not a lot there's a lot of lore, but it all says the same thing. So that's why it was a little bit difficult to write this episode. So this one might be a little bit short.
I was so excited about this idea until I started researching it.
Yeah, and then I absolutely hated this idea.
Yes.
So this week we're going to be talking about Krampus. My sources for this episode are nationalgeographic.com, history.com, and travelandleisure.com. When thinking of the Christmas season, one generally thinks of Santa Claus or Saint Nick or whatever you call him. Father Christmas if you're in England.
Père Noël.
But you generally think of him and his reindeer, shiny lights, baubles, gift giving, family time, and just a general coziness of the season. However, In some parts of the world, there is a tale of a creature who bears horns, dark hair, and a long tongue. Centuries-old Christmas traditions in Germany, where celebrations begin in early December, include welcoming Saint Nicholas, the patron saint of children in Catholicism, as a figure of generosity and benevolence to reward those who were good into their homes. I don't know that made sense.
I got it.
He comes to reward kids who were very good at home.
The nice list.
Right. But they also feared his menacing counterparts, who punished those who were bad. The name Krampus generally sparks a feeling of discomfort or fear for those who know the legend behind it. Krampus's name is derived from the old German word Krampen. I have a southern accent, not a German accent, which means claw in Old German. Krampus is said to be the son of Hel, Hel, the goddess of death in Norse mythology, and is said to be half goat, half demon. Krampus was said to be the evil twin of good old Saint Nick, who rewarded good children with sweets. And in contrast, Krampus would swat wicked children, stuff them in a sack, and take them away to his lair. According to folklore, children would place a shoe or boot outside their door before nightfall on December 5th. And Krampus would show up in towns on this night, and this was known as Krampusnacht, or Krampus night. On December 6th, St. Nicholas Day, the children would look outside their door to see if the shoe or boot they'd left out contained either presents as rewards for their good behavior or a rod for their bad behavior. But what was the point of these tales? Originally having origins in pagan celebrations during the winter solstice, they later became part of Christian traditions where St. Nicholas would visit children to reward them, but his menacing partner would show up to punish them if they were bad. In Alpine Austria and some other parts of Germany, some adults would dress up as Krampus to frighten children in their homes. Like they would walk the streets and go frighten little kids.
I just had an epiphany. So, like, we have Santa Claus, yes? And that kind of goes in hand with this. So, like, is, like, the Grinch, like, an adaptation?
I mean, it's possible. Like almost like a softer, kookier version of Krampus.
I like it.
I could see that.
That's a theory.
Yeah. In the 1890s, there was the beginnings of commercialization of Krampus when the booming postcard industry took off in Germany and Austria. Holiday cards with depictions of Krampus would be marked Gruß von Krampus or Greetings from Krampus, and would have illustrations of Krampus stuffing a distressed child into his satchel or preparing to hit one with his bundle of birch sticks, leading them away in chains or carrying them away in his bag. And I'll find some images of some of these cards and I'll post these to our Facebook page. According to History.com, there were also cards that were a little bit more adult. Krampus cards in the early 20th century show him punishing children, but also proposing to women. In some cards, Krampus is portrayed as a large woman, whipping tiny men with her birch sticks and carrying them off in her satchel. In another, a smiling woman dangles a defeated-looking Krampus in the air, holding his bundle of sticks behind her back.
We know that nothing sells like sex.
Exactly. So, I'll definitely be seeing if I can find any of these. Today, there are still, every year during the weeks leading up to Christmas, there are Krampus parades in the Alpine villages of Austria. Despite this tradition being over 1,500 years old, it is still practiced with as much excitement as it was originally. During these parades, Krampus figures and his army of evil elves descend into crowds to whip with prickly sticks, or prickly brooms and birch branches. These actors spare no force and often get too rowdy. Locals find the tradition to be relatively harmless, but it can be a terrifying experience if you were just a visitor and have never seen one of these parades before. If you plan to visit, Travel and Leisure warns you to be sure to stay away from the front row and avoid direct contact with the Krampus actors and their whips. It may seem like it might be family friendly, however, there are no rules and there is a possibility of injury. So there is that.
I want to go to one of these parades.
I don't know.
But I don't want to throw hands.
And I would get
I'm not
upsetty spaghetti.
I'm not a violent person, and I am not a badass by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm a little white trash. So
I'm not. I live in a better part of town. But no.
Hey, it's not so bad around here.
There
was only somebody shooting, like, a lot today.
But listen, we live in the country, so
it's Tennessee. It's kind of expected.
We live in a very small rural area. I say very small. It's getting bigger and bigger by the day. We are very close to Nashville, and Nashville is starting to overflow. We live between two big cities.
We have a population of 40,000.
What?
In our county?
Maybe not so small, but like it feels small in our little section of the woods. Okay.
I honestly thought the population was bigger just because anytime that you go to Walmart, it seems like the entire county is there.
You're not wrong, and then you always see the people you don't want to see.
Exactly, but especially on a fucking Sunday.
It's
so bad.
Don't wait until all the people are out of church to go. Go while they're at church.
I try not to.
Just don't go in. Walmart pickup is a glorious thing.
Yeah, but you have to spend a certain amount. And if I only need like one thing, and the only place I can buy it is from Walmart, I'll go. If I can get it somewhere else, I will. But
fair enough. Fair enough.
Excuse me.
We're editing that out.
I'm not even gonna bother. Honestly, we need all the time we can get for this episode.
I'm just shocked, to be honest, that she's the first one to do that on here. I'm not gonna lie and tell you. I've told her numerous times before it's all said and done, I'm gonna get comfortable with this, and y'all are gonna hear me burping like crazy, or God forbid I have to fart.
It slipped out.
Anyway, all right. So she told you kind of like, the folklore of the situation. I'm gonna give you 10 facts about Krampus. I got it from altpress.com. Like I said, this was a very hard thing to research because you read one story, you read them all. It's all the same shit over and over.
They're all very short.
I also want to say that I only have one child this weekend. My oldest is at her father's. And then my middle child is in the mountains, Gatlinburg, with my in-laws, because her birthday was a couple weeks ago, and they like to take the grandkids, all 6 of them. Is there 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 7. I lied. All 7 of them, when they can, on a trip or, do something special for them for their birthday. So they took Gemma to the mountains because that's what she wanted to do. I think that's the first time I've said her name on here. I think so. Anyway,
she's just been middle child.
Yeah. So
as if Middle children didn't have
There's definitely a middle child syndrome there. My husband can tell you about that. But so all I have is my youngest at home, and he is eating it up. But we were talking today, and I told him about Krampus, and it blew his mind. Blew his mind. Like, honestly, I don't know why I've waited this long to tell the story to my children, but I told him because it says that Krampus, he comes on the 5th, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I know that the parades are on the 5th, but I told him, I was like, it's almost time. Krampus is gonna come. You better be on that good list, though. And so we've been talking about this. It's a whole thing. We do Elf on the Shelf in our house. So he's like, does Jingles tell Santa if I've been bad? And then he tells Krampus because, I told him that Krampus was Santa's brother. So it was a whole thing, and it was fantastic. I had a great time with it. But anyway.
I did the other day when I told a different child that I'm not related to, and I do not know that well, the same story. Because she was coming over, it was at work, she was coming over, and she was being a little naughty. She was not listening to us, because we were working. We were working, and we told her, stop running around back here, you might get hurt, and she just wasn't listening. So I said, if you don't start listening, I said, I'm going to tell Krampus about this. And she said, who's Krampus? And I said, he's Santa Claus's his brother, and he's not nice. He'll come and he'll put you in a sack and hit you with a stick. So,
moral of the story
is I'm going to hell.
Don't ask Brittany to babysit your children.
No.
I've done it. My kids are all right, but they know how to
fine.
take her.
They're fine.
Maybe that's why Maddie is the way that she is.
That's possible.
Anyway, 10 facts about Krampus. Altpress.com is where I got this information from. Number 1. He's not the anti-Santa Claus. They travel together. So it's not like it's a battle royale.
Right.
I think that pop culture has kind of turned it into something that it's not.
Yeah.
Number 2, there's more than one. Krampus is not just one person. It's a gaggle of them. So that's why you have the Krampus parades.
Yeah.
There's more than one of them. It's not just one. It's not like, your average Christmas parade where you've got Santa as the Grand Marshal,
Yeah.
It's more than one. Number 3, he doesn't come on Christmas. So like we just mentioned, December 5th.
Yeah.
So, your kid's acting like a little asshole before Christmas, December 5th, you better have his shit together.
Right. Or he's going to have a stick in his boot.
Right. It is, number 4, it is traditional to send out Krampus greeting cards, as Brittany has mentioned.
I might do that this year.
That's such a good idea. That is such a good idea.
Some.
I definitely want to get some of the more adult ones though.
Yeah.
That's just who I am as a person.
I want to bring it back. Krampus cards.
Let's rise together, guys. Rise together. Number 5, towns across Eastern Europe have parades every year on December 5th, where it features Santa and Krampus. There are some also in the U.S. I have seen festivals and stuff in the U.S. I couldn't get a whole lot of information on them. I don't know if they're just not been a thing here the past couple of years or what. But there's some places, I know that there are some places that do haunted houses that are Krampus themed.
I know even just tonight, the night that we're recording this episode, somebody in Nashville had a kind of a meet and greet with Santa, but it was meet and greet with Krampus.
Man, why didn't we do that?
I don't know.
We could have been doing that instead of here.
It was Black Christmas with silent horror and ghoulgasm.
I feel like maybe my sister sent me something about that the other day.
Sorry,
Brandy. I read, but I didn't read your text.
You read, but you didn't comprehend.
I saw it.
But it was only $5.
Well, that's not bad.
So,
listen, we're happy to be here recording this. This has been a long time coming.
Right, because we were supposed to do this last weekend, and we
were all sick.
We went to shit.
Number 6, This one was the one that I was like, I was all for going to a Krampus parade, bucket list situation, until I read this. Well, and it because it has the potential that the crowd can get involved. Okay.
Yeah.
They're Krampus mosh pit like things.
Oh.
2 of them will face off in a shoving match. Saint Nick is the referee.
Oh shit.
It originated in Gastein Valley in Austria. That it was believed to have originated there, but it's like they're like fighting for ground, like territory.
I don't need to be in that.
Listen,
I don't need to be near that.
I've been to a couple rock shows, and the mosh pits scare the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, I've been like right on the outskirts of a mosh pit or like a circle pit. And I am so afraid that I'm going to get hit in the fucking face.
But I'm also the type of person that when the beach balls or the balloons start coming out, my anxiety goes haywire.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's not going to hurt if
I'm
I
like,
get hit.
I don't know where it's going. I don't know where it's coming from.
Right.
I
Well,
also don't know whose hands have been on it.
Well, we went to Five Finger Death Punch concert a couple weeks ago. And because, again, that's what Gemma wanted for her birthday. So we're awesome parents. Her first concert and Maddie's first concert was Five Finger Death Punch. So we took them to go see Five Finger Death Punch, and we were nowhere near the pit. We were nowhere near general admission, standing, whatever.
Yeah.
We were up. You know, it was nosebleed for the venue that we were in.
Yeah.
But we had great seats. We were able to see everything. It was fantastic. I had a great time. I would not have wanted to be any lower than what we were, to be perfectly honest with you. But I was watching the mosh happen, and I was like, no, thank you. And then, like, part of the way through the show, the lead singer of Five Finger Death Punch was like, all you people back there, the ones that were in the seats and not up front in the pit, he was like, y'all just come on out here. Security, stand aside, let everybody come up. And there were people like from up where we were running down there. The couple that were sitting behind us ran down there. Oh. And I was like,
I'd be like, no, I'm good. I'm going to stay up here.
Maddie was all for it. She looked at TJ and TJ looked at her.
I would have been at her age.
He thought about it, but I was like, COVID.
Yes.
B, no, I don't want her to get injured on her. Like, he would do everything in his power to protect her by every means. Yeah. I mean, he's not going to let her get hurt, but sometimes you just cannot. I watched a man standing there trying to protect some women that were down in the front, and he got pushed around and eventually fell over 2 or 3 times, and I was like, oh man, there's no way.
I've been protected and the protector in the pit. And it's not...
I'm not here for it, guys.
I'm not here. I'm too old for that shit now. I'm only 33, but I'm just like, I don't want to stand up for several hours.
Right. We went to Rock Allegiance Tour several years ago. It was when TJ and I first started dating. And it was general admission only. It was at the Fontenelle. Mm-hmm. And general admission only because it's all like grass area or whatever. And there were people ahead of us that were like trying to mosh around. Mm-hmm. Nothing that ever really got serious, but like we were far enough away from them that there was no danger that I was going to get put in any of that. But I kept ducking behind TJ, even though there was a full, like, I would venture to say 30, 40, 50 yards between me and what was going on.
You just never know what people will do with alcohol in their systems.
Well, alcohol was not the only thing going on there.
Well,
there was some stinky shit.
It never is the only thing going on.
Lord. All right, so number 7 here, they have their costumes specially made, the Krampus costumes.
Yeah.
Some of these are, well, the majority, if not all, are made by professionals. That this is what they do. They make these Krampus costumes. They can cost several $1,000s.
Jeez, and they look very good, though.
That's like life savings for me, guys.
Yeah, there's no way I could ever afford something like that.
No.
I gotta hit the lottery or something. And I don't even know if I'd spend my money on something like that.
Right? Like, I'm all for it. We go to the Ren Fair, Renaissance Festival.
Ooh, I'm dressing up next year.
TJ and I were talking about, look, he dressed up as Peter Pan for Halloween, therefore he could use that as a costume, right?
My Halloween costume.
Yeah, girl.
I was like, I could just turn that around and be a winch for...
Well, with my recent, what you call it, discovery of my family tree.
Yeah.
Girl... The ideas.
Do it.
We will talk about that probably next episode. I'm really excited about it. Number 8, Krampus was banned in Austria in the 1930s temporarily. Did you know that? Did you see that anywhere?
I did not see that.
From 34 to 38, when fascists controlled the country, he was a symbol of sin and evil and the anti-Christian. So they banned him. I could see that. Yeah. I could definitely see that.
And I know that there's also been some, like, tapering off of the excitement
of Krampus, yeah.
Just because of the commercialization.
Yeah, well, commercialization does it every fucking time.
Yeah, it ruins everything.
Number 9, different cultures have different versions. Some parts of Germany call him, I'm going to butcher the shit out of this, guys. I'm trying. Necht Ruprecht. Necht Ruprecht. Knecht. Ruprecht. Krampus-like figures who wear a dark hood, who carries children into the depths of hell. That's what they see him as. In parts of France, they call him Parafouetark.
I did read some of these. I was going to include it in mine, but then I was like, nah, I won't.
That is translated to the Father Whipper. Switzerland is Schmutzli.
I like that name.
Yeah. So yeah, there's different versions everywhere. I mean, even if you do like a general just Google search of Krampus, you're going to see so many different variations of the way that he looks, the way he's depicted.
Right.
Number 10, and I had mentioned earlier, it's now celebrated in the U.S. in different parts. There's different places that have festivals. It's become really big in pop culture. There's been horror movies and this, that, and the other. Guys, I don't do horror movies. I don't do scary movies. I do anxiety.
I like more of like the cheesy cult horror movies,
right?
Like Sleepaway Camp.
Right. I was starting to say that's the only one I can really tolerate.
Sleepaway Camp's not a good movie, but it's a good movie.
That's our childhood, guys.
Right. Or
she introduced me to that movie when we were all like, I don't know, fucking 15.
If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. But just know, there is a surprise ending.
Surprise!
I made a boy throw up once when I showed him that movie.
But no, it's become really big in pop culture. And like we said, a lot of times pop culture takes shit and it spins it so that it's more something that the general public's going to get excited about.
Right, and it's something a little more palpable.
It's not always depicted in the correct way.
Right. I mean, it's like most Disney movies are just regurgitated Grimm's fairy tales, and if you've never heard some of them, like Sleeping Beauty is a fucked up story.
Right. But
anyway,
we don't want to call out Disney like that, though. Don't do that.
I will.
That was me.
It encourages people to read the real story.
It
or
does.
At least there's another podcast that I really enjoy that tells like Grimm's fairy tales, myths and legends. So if you are interested in hearing about that, or maybe we can do episodes on them someday, I think that would be, I'm a big book nerd, so something like that would be very...
And we're all about helping you guys look at things in a different light.
Right.
Letting you see the things that mainstream media might not definitely, might not want you to see it.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into conspiracy theories a whole lot.
No, we might, but
but not a whole lot.
Yeah, and it might be like just for like lighthearted breaks in
right.
Episodes.
Now, Shane Dawson want to come and do some conspiracy theories. I'm here for it. But he's kind of trying to stray away from the big theme stuff as well.
Yeah.
I get it, Shane. I love you. I've been a fan from day one, bro. But that's all I've got. That's all I've got, guys. We appreciate you so much for listening to us again. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know if you have any ideas. Let us know. Let us know, good or bad. We are here for all we can get from you guys.
Yeah. Leave us a rating or a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Who knows? You might be your review might be featured on our next episode.
Right.
Maybe not the next one, but eventually.
Yeah, eventually. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter,
Insta.
maybe Instagram.
Maybe.
I'm still not sure if we have an Instagram.
If you can find us on Insta. And share us out, man. Share us out. Let all your friends know what you're listening to if you're not too embarrassed to let them know that you're listening to two crazy white girls from the South.
You can tag us in your Facebook stories or your Instagram stories.
We're here for it. Not in posts, not just stories, but you know, tag us and stuff. Share us out. Let everybody know about it. We'd like to kind of spread the word, guys.
Right. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions,
concerns,
anything, if you want a Krampus card for Christmas, email us at wanderersofweird.com, at gmail.com, your mailing address. We might send you one.
HIPAA rules apply. We don't share your address, your personal information.
We won't send.
We both have had.
We won't sell your address to.
Absolutely not.
Gay porn magazine subscriptions or anything like that.
That's a thought, though. But we won't do it.
I think it's illegal.
We won't do it. We won't do it. We both worked in the healthcare world at some point or another. We know how HIPAA works. But
so
we're here for you guys. You guys are here for us, and we really appreciate you being here with us.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you in the next one.
See you.
Bye.